Bowers Intelligent Transportation moves over 6,000 people to and from work every day in luxury and style. Bowers state-of-the-art luxury coaches are fully equipped with leatherette seating, Wi-Fi, DirecTV, Corian tables, power outlets for your phone or laptop, and even a bathroom. Each Bowers coach removes as many as 52 cars and 2 million pounds of carbon monoxide per year. Commute to and from work for as low as $13 a day. Call Bowers Intelligent Transportation today at 800-546-6688 or online at bowersit.com.
Welcome back to the Will and Willie Show Election Special, brought to you in part by Bowers Intelligent Transportation. Our guest in this segment is Christine Pelosi. She's an attorney, an activist, member of the Democratic National Committee. She chairs the state party's Women's Caucus, and author with her second book, Campaign Bootcamp 2.0, coming out in March. Christine, welcome to the Will and Willie Show.
My pleasure to be here.
Hey, lady, how are things going?
They're going great.
You doing more boot camp?
She's a mother, too, so don't forget that.
Let's not forget Isabella, the speaker of my house.
Isabella runs the world.
She does. At 2.5, she and I just got back from Central Europe. We did 3 civil society boot camps through the State Department.
Now tell us what a boot
exciting.
camp is.
The boot camp is a way for people to answer a call to service, define their message, build a management team, connect with people, and raise the money that you need to mobilize to win. So it's a program, it's a book.
For whom? Who is it
for
designed?
anyone, people running nonprofits, potential candidates, staffers, volunteers, and for a lot of our work now, people working with non-government organizations who are trying to leverage their experience into public service.
How did you get into that?
Well, years and years and years of walking precincts for people like you, Mr. Mayor, is the beginning, is the grassroots. And then what happened was, in 2004, we started doing some trainings because they were concerned that there might be a shadow convention of Kucinich and Howard Dean volunteers whose candidates did not make the Carrie Edwards ticket. So they asked some of us in the Democratic National Committee to go and do some trainings for delegates and non-delegates alike. So we brought everybody together. Donna Brazil and others put this together. And so I went and told them about making house calls, things we had learned in the House of Representatives special elections that my mother, Nancy Pelosi, had put together a string of victories. So from that became more and more trainings, and then came the book, work with AFSCME and other unions to help elect people to office.
But there were some significant political successes in between the beginning and when the book, and that those political successes centered around your mother's ultimate ascendancy to the speakership.
In 2006.
That's correct. And as both of you know, both of you who were out campaigning at the time in 05 and 06, we took a different grassroots approach. We said in Washington, they're looking for 15 people to fire because we needed a 15-vote shift in the House. We're going to go out and find 45 people to hire and get people closely connected to their communities, and in a lot of cases, non-politicians. In some cases, you had the state senator looking to step up, but in other cases, it was businesswomen, it was veterans, it was community leaders and activists, people who didn't necessarily know politics and didn't know how to leverage their business or community or military service into political action. So we worked with them in a very disciplined way, did a lot of media training, taught them some lessons like what Willie Brown says in the book, I should see you out in the community more than I see your own family. And advice from Will Durst, like know the show before you go on, research what you're doing, and use intentional humor by professional comedians and not unintentional humor by unprofessional candidates.
Amy, like Herman Cain. Did you see the ad, the Robert Black smoking?
Yeah.
It looked like that movie, Thank You for Smoking.
And then Herman Cain does this turn to the camera and his face is like this, and he goes, and it's creepy, and it's
If that was his only problem this week, he'd be doing all right.
Yes.
So what we do learn.
Do you
at
do
these
damage
boot camps,
control?
Though, absolutely, we all try. But here's the thing about damage control: we've all done something, except for maybe Paul here. Nobody's a saint. Everybody has problems. Every one of us has made mistakes. But I think the American people are very forgiving. Whether you're Democrat, Republican, Independent, you name it. If you fess up with people and just say, "Yeah, I made my mistakes. Here's what I learned."
Bill Clinton.
I think you could be okay.
92.
Absolutely.
Somebody once asked me, are there any skeletons in your closet? I said, of course not. However, there's a graveyard.
A little bit bigger.
That's right. That's right. And you know, people. I think people want to see.
I don't have skeletons.
Humanity.
I
You
got
don't?
the entire killing field.
Christine, you were a Clinton-Gore administration counsel.
Yes, I was.
So was there damage control as part of your job description in that?
Well, actually, when I was working at HUD, Willie Brown was mayor of San Francisco. And one of the things that we tried to do was to make sure that, as the mayor put it quite pointedly, he got his homeless money, right? And making sure that people understood that whether it was putting community technology centers into public housing or increasing resources for housing opportunities of people with AIDS, or in helping that there was a safety net, but also that some of the advances of the .com boom that was going on actually were translated into everyday people's lives. So you had Hope 6 housing, for example, which went up in San Francisco, where they tore down the old places, rewired the new ones, and gave people a better opportunity. When you look at Occupy Wall Street, you're seeing some of that same frustration. Hey, the bank's got all this. Where's the trickle-down effect to the people? And so I think that some of the same themes that we grappled with
Is
are
it changing the
coming
dialogue,
loose.
do you think? Do you think that
Absolutely.
Occupy Wall Street, there was a thing in the paper, I can't remember if it was this morning or yesterday, but I think it was yesterday, the Sunday Review in the New York Times, and mentioned that people are mentioning unemployment now rather than the debt crisis. You know, that debt is becoming less in the public consciousness, and unemployment, and the fact, you know, would that help Obama in 2012? Would that hurt the Republican candidate? Well, Mitt Romney will probably be on both sides of the issue, so it'll be hard to pin him
The man
down.
who said he was among the unemployed. But he did. He actually said it. Here's what I think. I think that what has happened since Occupy started on September 17th is a couple things. First of all, every time people tried to write them off as hippies, then the pilot showed up in uniform, and everyone loves a man or woman in uniform. So, of course, that changed the perception. I've been down with my little daughter to the Occupy SF about 7 or 8 times now. And I found a very mix of people. One woman said, I was homeless before. I'll be homeless when you leave, but I thank you for taking me in. A young man we met actually the morning after they had stayed up all night with some of the members of the Board of Supervisors, hoping not to get raided. He had just kind of woken up at noon, and he said he saw little Bella and he smiled, and he said, I'm psyched to be here because I know what we're doing will make it better for her generation. So I think that there really is that sense. We've been saying for months, a lot of progressive Democrats, jobs cure deficits. And when you look at deficit and debt, you have to look at what's happening within households. Now, if you did a media study on how many times the words are used, much more so after Occupy than before, that's where there'll be change. A divestment program or a reinvestment program like they did about South Africa, like they did about Darfur, that'll start to happen.
So what banks do you pick?
Help.
I mean, every bank is culpable.
No, but if you have a Community Reinvestment Act approach where you say, you know, look, banks have to get better, and look, we got the first post-Occupy victory, debit fees. Now the banks are backing off. Wells backed off, Chase is backing off, B of A is backing off. So that's something.
No.
Well, let me ask you this question. You talked about firing 15 people in order to gain control of the House, and obviously the Democrats were successful in doing that.
That's right.
Nancy Pelosi became the Speaker.
2 chicken bones away from the presidency.
And suddenly, though, last time around, the Republicans apparently adopted some means by which to fire, and they fired 60-plus people in that process. What exactly would be your analysis of what occurred, and how will it be reversed this time, and how many people are you planning to try to fire?
Well, right now we're trying to hire more people. We have over 60 seats where we have people running. We have over 100 people who are recruits. Over 30 of them are women, I'm proud to say. And so we just had 8 of them actually visiting San Francisco last week, which was very, very exciting to see. Group, you would have loved it, guys. Wall-to-wall women and a few good feminist men showed up. It was terrific. So I think what we have to understand is that there are pendulum shifts. The Tea Party had a very, very, very strong focus. For the first 9 months of the Obama-Biden administration, when the outside use of the list wasn't happening, the vaunted Obama list sort of withered on the vine, the Tea Party was out organizing. Give a family plug. Alexandra Pelosi's HBO movie, Right America, Feeling Wronged. She chronicled this as she wrote the script, produced the movie. If you see that, you'll see the seeds of the Tea Party that started when Sarah Palin was nominated as vice president. for the Republicans. So that's where it began.
But it seems to be the Tea Party was an entirely radicalized and right radicalized. I mean, they didn't care about deficits during the Bush administration. The man started 2 wars and gave tax cuts. That's never been done in the history of civilization, and
That's
now we
right.
know why. And they weren't protesting against that. It was only when Obama was elected that suddenly the deficits. I mean, if you look at it, it's standing firm against American deficits since January 21st, 2009. Immediately they came out against deficits.
Except if you look at the reason that we had the Tea Party downgrade, from the start, freshman Tea Party Republicans have refused defense cuts. And that's still what's going to affect what happens on that super committee next month. So what we have to understand as voters is that we have some choices. We have to get the momentum back. We weren't as hungry as we should have been to protect our progress in 2010. We were divided as Democrats. We've got to unify. We're starting to see that happen. The president's jobs bill and his newfound energy has put a spring in a lot of progressive steps. I think with Occupy Wall Street, and I'm going to give you a little public service tip. You see all this campaign mail? What you can do is take a bank solicitation and take a piece of mail, fold it back, send it back to the bank along with your message about how you think the bank could be treating
You mean
people
in their
better.
pre-addressed envelope?
That's right. They have a self-addressed stamped envelope. They've already paid for it, so you can send them back. And if you find that there's a piece of mail that doesn't apply to you as a progressive that you think maybe a bank officer should be reading along with an Occupy message, keep Wall Street occupied.
Well, this is all Paul's mail.
That's a whole pile so far of what I've got as campaign literature. Christine Pelosi, thank you so much for being a guest. Her new book, Campaign Bootcamp 2.0, will be out in March. Thank you for joining the Will and Willie Show Election
March 20th,
Special.
to be exact.
March 20th to be exact. And
my birthday.
We'll be back with
Happy
more
birthday.
in just a moment.
Now we know I'm getting you a present.
Bowers Intelligent Transportation moves over 6,000 people to and from work every day in luxury and style. Our state-of-the-art luxury coaches are fully equipped with leatherette seating, Wi-Fi, DirecTV, Corian tables, power outlets for your phone or laptop, and even a bathroom. Each Bowers coach removes as many as 52 cars and 2 million pounds of carbon monoxide per year. Commute to and from work for as low as $13 a day. Call Bowers Intelligent Transportation today at 800-546-6688 or online at bowersit.com.